try to cross the street without dying. Welcome back, my cruise and travel friends. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. I'm still here on the Norwegian... I need to slow down. It's been a long day. I'm still here on the Norwegian Epic. I'm not drunk. I'm just kind of tired. It's been a long day. We've done so many things on this cruise. I think one thing that made it as intense as it is we only had one sea day. And so I promised myself at the beginning of the cruise that I was going to like actively try to relax and not just run around every day, but of course we wound up running around every day anyways. And today we are in Naples, and actually we're done with the day already and had a great day, and I wanted to tell you about it now. In Naples, the ship docks like right in the city, like literally right across the street from like the city. So that's very convenient. And we decided to do a double-decker, as always, hop-on, hop-off bus tour to see a lot of the main sites. And then there was something we picked out that we really wanted to do, and that was a tour of the underground aqueduct. And so that was fascinating too, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But first of all, a lot of the hop-on, hop-off bus tours, in the mornings they come down here to the harbor to pick up people, but that's not like a real stop. So if you're leaving the ship later in the afternoon, don't expect a bus to be waiting right there. You'll probably have to walk behind this big fortress. That's where you can find like one of the official stops. And I think that that is also where they cross, because there's actually 4 different routes in Naples, which is, you know, very extensive. And here, I got a map, let me show you. There's 2 main routes. There's the east side here, and then there's the west side here, and they are totally different from each other, and I'm really glad that we took the time to do both of them. And then there's 2 like mini routes. Like this one is more extensively in the historical center, you know, like the old town, and this one, oh, I guess it says it's only on Saturday and Sunday if you reserve. I don't know what this one is. But so we did both of these, and we didn't do this one, but we did walk through a lot of the city. This area, like I said, is the old part of the city, and you're going to be seeing a lot of what we saw as you're listening to this. And I have to say, especially being coming from Rome, and we'll be back in Rome tomorrow, Rome is like gorgeous, and everything is so perfectly restored and pristine and everything, and it seems like the people in Rome really love their city and take very good care of it. But you know, no offense to anybody living in Naples, but I'm sorry, your city is dirty. It's dirty, there's graffiti on everything, things are kind of falling apart, and it just looks like nobody's really taking care of it, at least in the old part of the city. And I think it's too bad, because there's so many really beautiful things here. And like when we were in Rome, when we were walking down the street to get from A to B, there were so many like huge cathedrals and churches and things that you could just walk into and, you know, like stare at the amazing decorations and everything inside. And here everything is closed because, I don't know, because it's probably falling apart, or maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe there's different laws about visiting holy places here. I don't know. But it was a major difference to Rome, and I kind of feel like, and maybe this is an unfair comparison, but it's like Naples, the old part of Naples, is like the Detroit of Italy. That's kind of what it feels like. There's a lot of really amazing things that at one time were very important and really nice to look at, but it just seems like nobody cares about it anymore, which is too bad. But we also did the second part of the tour, which goes way out west and way up the hill or the mountain, and you get some fantastic views down of the beach and across the bay over to Mount Vesuvius, which actually is still one of the world's most dangerous volcanoes. That's what the audio guide said. I forgot about that. It's still like an active volcano, and they're assuming that sometime it will erupt again. And that's going to be a big deal because there's a lot of people who live around here, and that is a big effing volcano.
Big effing volcano.
I mean, I can't say I've seen a lot of other volcanoes, but it's big. All right, the underground tour was on the Piazza San Gaetano. Oh, I hope I'm saying that right. And it was a really easy walk from bus stop number 10. It took about 15 minutes, and just walk back to the, well, you'll have to do the research before you get here, because it's actually pretty easy to describe, but I don't want to describe it to you and then make you go the wrong way. But basically we just walked back one street from where we got off on bus stop 10 and then turned left and just kept going, and eventually you'll get there. And the place where you buy the tickets is back and around the corner from a big church that we couldn't go into because it was closed. At least it looked closed. And here's the thing, it only cost 10 euros, and it took around an hour, I would say an hour 20 minutes, and it was fascinating. It begins with a walk down, I counted, I think it was 127 steps, just going down and turning and going down again and turning and going down again. And what this space is under the city is actually an old system of Roman aqueducts or viaducts, where they used to supply the city with water. And we saw 1 kilometer of what was down there, but there's over, I think he said like 170 kilometers of space down there underneath the city. And that is, you know, mind-boggling, but it's also kind of spooky, actually, because we only saw 1 kilometer of it, but it seems so huge and so vast, and to think that there's so much more of it. Yeah, the Romans built it way back, like 2,000 years ago, and then it was actually used. This was also fascinating. It was used up until the late 1800s, which is not that long ago. You know what I mean? And then they had an outbreak of cholera here, and that's when they decided to stop using it, because that was helping spread the bacteria. And then it sat dormant until World War II, and then in World War II they used it as a bomb bunker and saved the lives of thousands and thousands of people here in Naples, Italy. And after the war, actually, then it sat dormant again for a while, and I don't remember exactly how long they said, but then several, like 50, 60 years later, they decided to make it into like a tourist attraction. And so now you can go down there and check it out, and I would highly recommend you do that if you come here, because for 10 euros, you cannot beat like that experience and seeing that much, you know, history and culture. Here's some warnings though. It is a lot of walking up and down stairs, and I'm not talking like, you know, like perfectly aligned stairs. It seems like rustic. So if you are not good with stairs, don't do this, because it's not going to be fun for you. And make sure you wear the proper kind of shoes on your feet. I saw a woman totally bite the dust because she was wearing flip-flops, and you just don't wear flip-flops when you're doing something like this. And you know what? I'm not a fan of flip-flops anyways. Unless you are at the beach, I don't feel like anybody should be wearing flip-flops. But no hate, that's just my opinion. Here's another thing. Some of the passageways are really, really small. Like, you know, I'm a little guy. I'm 5'5", and I weigh like 130 pounds. I'm not a big person by any means. And some of these passageways were small even to me. So if you're claustrophobic, also not a tour for you. Or if your body shape is, you know, a little bit bigger, like I said, there were some passageways where I had to turn sideways to get through parts of it. But hold on. If you're really interested in doing it and you're worried about that because of claustrophobia or because of your body shape, the really small parts, you don't have to do those parts. And they say before, so you do the whole beginning part of the tour, and actually those rooms are all pretty big. And then when it gets to that small part, they say, okay, the next part is really small, and we're going to take candles with us. And anybody who doesn't want to do that, just wait here, and we'll pick you up on the way out. And then you're gone for like 10, 12 minutes, and then you come back along that way. And it's not like you're waiting like alone in a dark room. There's somebody who works there who's taking care of the candles, and then people from other groups are also waiting there and getting picked up. But I just thought I'd mention that for anybody who might be considering doing this. We're done with the bus tour. I'm really glad we did the second part of it, the other line, because that area was pretty nice and we had some great views down over the ocean, over the entire city, and over to the volcano. And now we're walking back just a short ways into the city because I want to take one last opportunity to get some Italian gelato and try to cross the street without dying. There it is. And it's in a cone. I said I wanted it in a cone, and I got it in a cone. And it's melting so fast, there's absolutely no way I'm gonna finish this without getting some of it on me. So I'm pretty sure this is our balcony here. The last one before it gets flat there again. And then 1, 2, 3 down. This one right here. I feel a little bit disappointed that Naples is the last city in Italy that we're seeing, just because starting out in Rome, like Rome was so majestic and so impressive. And Naples also has a lot to offer, but like I said, the atmosphere altogether in Naples is just kind of dirty and I don't know, like East Village of the 1980s. But it feels very authentic. It doesn't feel, like some parts of Rome feel like totally taken over by tourist stuff like only catering to tourists. And Naples definitely feels more authentic, I guess, to say like something nice about it in the end. Anyways, I'm gonna pack up my bags now. It's like 5 o'clock, and I don't like to be one of these people who packs up their bags like at night, like right before you have to leave the next day. I want to get it done now so I don't have to think about it, and I can really just relax and enjoy the last night before getting up and getting kicked off the ship tomorrow and going back to cold and probably rainy Hamburg. Thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. I'm pretty sure this probably won't be the last video from the cruise. I'll probably be posting a little bit more of like the small stuff after this, but I don't know, maybe not. You'll see if you subscribe to get a notice of when the new videos are going online. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, and I know I say this all the time, and I hope you know how much I mean it, special thank you to everybody who supports me on patreon.com/veryunofficial, and especially those VIPs over here. Mille grazia. Or wait, is that right? Mille grazie. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.